So good day everyone and good day coach. So we are the Study Hub 4 and now let's discuss about the sentimentalism. So no one denies that emotions influence moral judgments for better or for worse. So some ancient philosophers, most prominently Aristotle, emphasized the role of emotions in virtues, thought, and action, but considered them supplementary to reason. So for a genuine explanatory sentimentalists, emotions play a fundamental role in the process of moral judging, being necessary either for making individual judgments or for having a capacity to do so. So the right kind of emotional origin suffices that account for the nature and content of our moral judgment. So it is a non-contingent fact that neither pure reason nor mere understanding of moral proposition will face. So for Smith, the main theoretical question in ethics is how and by what means does it come to pass so that the mind prefers one tenor of conduct to another. So dominance denominates the one right and other wrong. So in the 20th century, these questions were comparatively neglected, but they have again gained a prominent place in contemporary sentimentalist work. So in his pioneering work, Lord Shaftesbury argued that when we become aware of affections behind actions, there arises another kind of affection towards very affections themselves, which have been already felt and are now become the subject of new liking or dislike. Positive second-order affection aroused by motives tending towards social harmony constitutes the sentiment of moral approval, which determines moral judgment, unless gradual habituation into a false religion interferes with his natural process. So Hodgson argued that these second-order effects are best thought of as deliverances of a sense because they are fundamentally non-voluntary ideas. So we can no more choose to approve a motive that we can choose to make honey taste bitter, right? Now let's proceed with the judgment sentimentalists. So moral judgment are not caused but rather constituted by emotions or beliefs concerning emotions. So the crucial question is whether judgment purport to represent how things are. So Hume's remarks on this point are ambiguous and possibly contradictory. So some of the things that he says support the non-cognitivist interpretation on which to think that someone is virtuous just is to feel a sentiment of approbation towards her. So you may see the link below by non-cognitivism. So this is not a matter of describing how one feels, but of expressing, making public the sentiment one has, and perhaps inviting others to share it. On the whole, however, Hume is probably better interpreted as a cognitivist for whom moral judgment are beliefs about how traits and motives do or are disposed to make us feel when contemplated from the common point of view. You may also see the cognitivism. So as Smith puts it, like the very words right, wrong, fit, improper, graceful, unbecoming mean only what 11 pleases or displeases, which is moral faculties. So both kinds of view have been further developed by contemporary sentimentalists, often in the context of discussing the semantics of sentences expressing the judgment. So overall, sentimentalism is the tendency to express or like to appeal to tender emotions such as love, nostalgia, or pity. So In a way that may seem excessive or foolish, it can also refer to the techniques that writers use to evoke an emotional response that's disproportionate to the situation. So here are some of the examples of sentimentalism in literature. So writers may use sentimentalism to evoke an emotional response that disproportionate to the situation. And for example, a writer might use techniques to substitute heightened feelings for normal ethical and intellectual judgment. So in readers may invest strong emotions in fictional situations that are convention all or trite. And we have in society sentimentalism that can lead to social movements such as those calling for the abolition of slavery or the death penalty. So the word sentimental comes from the Latin word sentire, which means to feel. And that concludes the discussion for today about sentimentalism. And now let's proceed with the next one, which will discuss by Miss Parang.
So good day everyone, especially to our prof, Dr. Judith Martinez. So good morning everyone. So we discussed today about the Gothic novel. So what is Gothic novel? So the Gothic literary movement was initially a response to the Enlightenment era of the 18th century. This moment in history was dominated by rational truth and reason, where humanity and function based on the scientific beliefs while exploring the fields of the religion and industry. Enlightenment, the philosophers believe humanity could only better itself by focusing on a logical reasoning rather than emotional thought. So as the 18th century came to a close, writers and philosophers began to rebel against humanity being purely driven by a logic. They protested the idea that humanity should be purely driven by rationality, which ultimately led to the emergence of the Gothic. While it does fall in the realm of Romanticism, Gothic literature explored the themes that are much darker and tragic. So, the Gothic novels, in short, this is a literary work that combines horror and romanticism, and it is characterized by a suspenseful plot and mysterious atmosphere. So here are the characteristics of the Gothic novels. Though the setting of the Gothic novels often take place in the gloomy, decaying buildings such as castles or haunted houses with a dark architecture, secret passages, and trapdoors. So the characters of the Gothic novels often feature supernatural beings or monsters such as vampires, ghosts, zombies, or giants. The plot of the Gothic novels often involve a mystery such as disappearance, unknown parentage, or some other inexplicable event. And the theme of the Gothic novels often to explore the theme of the romance, horror, fear, and dread. The atmosphere of the Gothic novels is often create the atmosphere of the suspense and mystery. About the rise of the Gothic novel. This book by Maggie Gilgold is a brilliantly written study published in 1995. It is filled with interesting observations about the text, the readers, the critics, and the theories. Here I can merely note that she points out the many contradictions between all the above. It seems that there is no common consensus about the Gothic, but instead, Kierkegaard provides her own interpretation. So, Maggie Kirkwood. The Gothic is thus haunted by a reading of history as a dialectical process of alienation and restoration, dismembering and remembering, a version of the secularized myth of fall and return, which is essential to Romanticism, decayed aristocracy. But again, my own view is that the setting is not merely the privileged site of the old feudal aristocracy, but the castle is now significantly in ruins. The active symbol and feeling here is of an anachronistic past that continues to haunt the present rise of the middle class. Whether or not the Asian aristocracy is defended or subverted in the Gothic tale, it continues to exert a disturbing return of repress effect.
Hi everyone, I am Fatima Riada Tarang from Study Hub number 4, and today we will tackle about the use of epigram. And for today, we will tackle about the use of epigram, a concise, witty, and memorable statement often used to highlight a key idea or critique a social issue. So, before anything else, let us know what is epigram. So, epigram is a brief, clever, and often paradoxical statement or poem. It's characterized by its conciseness and wit, making it a memorable form of expression that captures complex thoughts or critiques in just a few words. So, epigram, it is a type of literary device or poetic form that consists of a concise, witty statement or poem. So, the key characteristics are the concise, witty, memorable, and also the insightful. So we have first the conciseness. So conciseness deliver their message in a compact form, usually consisting of just a few sentences or lines. So this makes them easy to recall and share. So when we say conciseness, so the epigram are brief. So it is often just one or two lines long. So their succinctness is a fundamental aspect that makes them impactful. So next is we have the wit and humor. So many epigrams incorporate clever wordplay, irony, or a surprising twist. This element of wit engages the audience, prompting them to think critically about the subject. So, they frequently employ clever language, humor, and often a twist or a surprise in meaning. So this wit sets a program apart from other forms of statement or aphorism. So next is we have the memorability. So the memorability is because of their succinctness and often catchy phrasing. So epigrams are easy for people to remember. So this makes them effective tools for persuasion or reflection. So, due to their brevity and wit, epigrams are easy to remember and often stick in the mind of the reader or the listener. So, next is we had the insight and depth. So, while they are short, epigrams often encapsulates of societal norms, values, or behaviors. So they can highlight inconsistencies, contradictions, or ironies in human nature or societal practices. So, despite of their short length, epigrams are often encapsulates deeper insights and critiques about life, human natures, and social issues. So next is we will tackle the purpose or the functions of the epigram. Basically, the epigram has two functions. So this is the highlighting key ideas and the critiquing social issues. So let us first know the highlighting key ideas. So these epigrams can distill complex arguments or key concepts into a single, impactful statement. This allows the conveyance of important ideas in a way that is easily digestible. So, this function is that they can distill complex ideas or arguments into a simple statement. So, it is making the essence of the thought accessible. So, like for example, Martin Luther King's quote, like injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So it conveys a profound idea about interconnectedness succinctly. So next is we have the critiquing social issues. So many epigrams are designed to critique social norms, politics, or behaviors. So they are served as a powerful form of social commentary, encouraging readers to reflect on and questioning the status quo. So, here, many epigrams comment on social norms and behaviors critically. So, they can point out contradictions, absurdities, or injustices in a way that is engaging and thought provoking. So, like for instance, the epigram power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, this is by Lord Acton. So this critiques the moral decline that can accompany power. So here are the examples of the epigrams and its impact. First is we have Oscar Wilde's epigram. So it says there that I can resist anything except temptation. So these epigrams highlights the irony of human will. So presenting a humorous take on our struggles with desire. So next is but this is by Benjamin Franklin. So an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. So, this epigram emphasizes the idea that gaining knowledge is one of the most valuable investments a person can make. So, just as financial investments yield returns over time, acquiring knowledge leads to benefits that can enhance one's life, career, and personal development. So, this phrase, which is the best interest, plays on the double meaning of interest. This is referring both to the literal interest earned on monetary investments and to the idea that knowledge contributes to a better life in broader terms. So Franklin encourages valuing education and learning as pathways to future success. So next is we have the on societal norms. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So here, this epigram suggests that well-meaning actions, if not carefully thought out or executed, can lead to negative outcomes. So it serves as a cautionary reminder that simply having good interactions is not enough. So the consequence of actions matter significantly. So like for example, if someone attempts to help others without understanding the situation fully, they might inadvertently cause more harm than good. So this phrase critiques the notion that a noble aim alone guarantees a positive outcome and highlights the importance of considering the potential implications of one's action. So next is we will know what is the impact of the epigrams. So the effectiveness of the epigrams lies in their ability to provoke thoughts, inspire change, or simply entertain. So they can serve as memorable quotes in speeches, literature, or everyday conversations. So making them valuable tools for communication. So because of their engaging nature, epigrams can spark discussions about the idea they convey, prompting deeper considerations of the topics addressed. So in summary class, the epigrams are concise, witty, and memorable statements that distill complex ideas or critiques into a short form. So their qualities makes them powerful tools for highlighting key thoughts and addressing social issues. So by using humor and clever wordplay, epigrams invites readers to reflect on their meanings, making them significant in both literature and everyday discourse.
Hello everyone, I am Lovely Navarro Barrera from Study Hub number 4, and today I am tasked to discuss one of the famous author in English literature and one of his great works, which is no other than Alexander Pope. So Alexander Pope is a master of satire and neoclassical poetry. Pope's works like the rape of the lock. So this is what I'm going to discuss with you right now. So the Rape of the Lock was written by Alexander Pope and first published in 1712, then reworked and published again in 1714. So the poem is a mock epic that sat beside the upper class in London at the time. So the story focuses on the central character, Belinda, whose lock of hair is cut off at a social gathering. So although trivial to most, Belinda is outraged that her lock of hair has been cut by the Baron. So in the Rape of the Lock, Pope uses Belinda and the Baron to mock two of his acquaintances, Arabella Fermor and Lord Petre. So the poem follows the event at night, leading up to Belinda's horrific loss. So Pope wrote the Rape of Lock in response to a request made by his friend John Caryll. So John Caryll is a prominent Roman Catholic of the time. So Caryll explained that his friend Lord Petre had cut off a lock of Arabella Fermor's hair. So ever since the incident, the families had been feuding. In order to make light of the situation, Pope wrote the Rape of the Lock. So the stealing of Miss Belle Fermor's hair was taken too seriously and caused an estrangement between the two families. Though they had lived so long in great friendship before, a common acquaintance and well-wished both desired me to write a poem to make a jest of it and love them together again. It was with this view that I wrote the Rape of the Lock. So although written in 1711 and published in 1712, the Rape of the Lock went through many stages before becoming the poem as we know it today. So the first version was only 2 cantos long, but with each version, the story became progressively longer. A year later, Pope impressed upon his work by publishing the piece as well as adding elements from the supernatural. So however, this version was not published in 1714. Finally, in 1717, upon preparing for a publication of a collection of this work, Pope wrote the version that we know today. So this version is a 5 cantos long and includes Clarissa's speech, which aids in describing the morality behind the poem. However, it's interesting to note that by the time Pope had finished the latest version, Lord Petre had died of smallpox, and Arabella was married, so feud which the poem was originally written to men was no longer relevant. So that's it for this work of Alexander Pope, which is the Rape of the Lock.
A blessed day to each and everyone. I am Kate Justine Sanimbot from BSF English 3A, and today I will discuss about Jonathan Swift, known for his sharp wit and satirical works. Swift's Gulliver's Travels, 1726, is a biting critique of human nature and society. The story begins with Lemuel Gulliver, a ship's surgeon, who gets shipwrecked and finds himself stranded on the island of Lilliput. The Lilliputians are tiny people, only 6 inches tall. Gulliver becomes a giant in their eyes, and they treat him like a powerful yet curious creature. He gets caught up in their political squabble, which involve rival factions vying for power over the color of their high heels. Gulliver eventually escapes Lilliput and travels to the land of Brobdingnag, where the inhabitants are giants, towering over him. Here, Gulliver feels like a tiny bug. He witnesses the world from a completely different perspective. He is presented to the king of Brobdingnag, who is a wise and compassionate ruler. And Gulliver is forced to confront the limitations of human reason and the absurdity of human affairs. Next, Gulliver travels to Laputa, a flying island inhabited by intellectuals who are completely detached from reality. Their obsession with abstract ideas and theories makes them impractical and oblivious to the needs of the people below. Finally, Gulliver ends up in the land of Eunymphs, a race of rational horses who live in perfect harmony. The Eunymphs are stark contrast to the Yahoos, who are savage, bestial creatures that closely resemble humans. This encounter leaves Gulliver deeply disturbed, questioning the nature of humanity and his own place in the world. The story ends up with Gulliver returning home, but is forever changed by his experiences. His delusion with society and finds it difficult to relate to his fellow humans. He retreats into isolation, reflecting on the absurdity and folly of human nature. Gulliver's Travel is a fascinating journey through a world of fantasy and satire. It's a story about the limitations of human reason, the dangers of unchecked ambition, and the importance of compassion and understanding. The story unfolds as Gulliver recounts his experiences, which are both exciting and thought-provoking. While it's a story, it's also a satirical work, meaning it uses humor and exaggeration to criticize society. So it's a story that meant to entertain but also make you think about the world around you.
Say your story.
Good day everyone, I'm Siti Aiza Abelyati. So today I will be discussing about Daniel Defoe, one of the most influential writers in English literature. Specifically, we'll explore his groundbreaking novel, Robinson Crusoe, published in 1719. So let's dive into the story and its significance. So Daniel Defoe was born in 1660 and lived a remarkable life as a writer, journalist, and trader. He is often considered one of the most pioneers of the modern English novel. His ability to combine realistic storytelling with engaging themes made his works timeless. Today, he is best remembered for his novel, Robinson Crusoe, which is a landmark in literary history. So, Robinson Crusoe was published in 1719 and it's widely recognized as one of the earliest examples of realistic fiction. So the story follows Robinson Crusoe, a man who is shipwrecked on a deserted island where he survives alone for 28 years. So the themes of survival, adventure, and self-reliance are the central of the story, and these themes have kept readers captivated for centuries. The novel explores several key themes. First, we see survival and ingenuity through Crusoe's efforts to adapt and thrive in a harsh, isolated environment. Second, the theme of faith and morality is evident in Crusoe's spiritual journey and his reflections on life. Lastly, the novel reflects colonialism and civilization, showcasing the 18th century European views on exploring and dominating new lands. So these themes make the novel rich and thought-provoking. Next is the literary significance. So Robinson Crusoe holds a special place in literary history as one of the first modern novels. Defoe's journal-like narrative style focuses on Crusoe's personal experiences and psychological growth, which was revolutionary at the time. So this novel inspired countless works of adventure and survival literature, establishing Defoe as a key figure in shaping the genre. So in conclusion, Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe is not just a story of survival, it's a tale that explores human resilience, faith, and the spirit of adventure. So Defoe's contribution to literature remained impactful, and his work continues to inspire readers and writers alike. Thank you for listening. Let's proceed to the next discussion.